What's up, guys? It is day 14 of the Aquarius Experiment. I'm Sara Waggle, astrologer and leadership coach. And let's talk about the elephant in the room. It's called resistance, and resistance to anything, whether it's resistance to your intentions, whether it's resistance to your relationship with the universe. It's there, and it shows up in different manifestations or different ways consistently all the time. And typically the more dedicated or the more you want that intention or you want that thing, the greater the resistance to it. So resistance can manifest as perhaps you getting a cold. Perhaps you have somebody stirring the drama cauldron, or multiple things stirring the drama cauldron, attempting to distract your attention from your intentions or your relationship with the universe. And so, and there's other ways too. Like, have you ever noticed somebody who, like, life gets too calm and they have to have, they injure themselves or something like that, or things get too calm and then suddenly out of nowhere their long lost relative comes back and stirs the thing up and stirs everything up. Friends come out of nowhere and, drop a drama bomb, or something like that. Some other ways, I'm trying to think of some other ways, like you're trying to stick to your nutrition and somebody shows up with Reese's peanut butter cups to the party, or to, whatever, to greet you. Or there's candy or cookies at the office and you just started in high protein nutrition. You started a new workout and then all of a sudden you found a good book and you lose track of time and you neglect your workout, something like that. That's all resistance. That's all resistance. And there's a couple of things here. There's your determination, your will, your desire to have your intentions fulfilled, number one. And number two, there's your kind of mental discipline to be like, that's happening over there. That has nothing to do with me. I'm not involved. That's their problem. Like, not owning other people's problems. We're all good at that. I am such a good person at that. Someone comes along and stirs my drama cauldron and I got to be all attention in. And so we all experience this to varying degrees. And so what are some things that you can do to, I want to say, combat resistance? And you often hear stubborn. I'm too stubborn to make the change. No, you're resistant. Stubbornness is just another word for resisting making the change. And so, we want to kind of tame that ego brain, that inner child, or that human self brain. We want to diligently and be in like a disciplined way of like taming that part of our brain, because a lot of spiritual work and a lot of bringing in our intentions is without thought. Right? We don't think about it. We, surrender to it. We sacrifice for it, but it's not with really thought. It's more with feeling. And so, and this is, obviously if you're like an overthinker like I am, or you overanalyze like I sometimes do, like, it could go this way, it could go that way, rather than just feeling into what's the easiest, most effortless next step to getting back on track, to quieting this brain. And sometimes it's an outwardly said affirmation. I am going to fill in the blank. I am going to get back to this project. I'm going to cleanse my energy, whether that's breath work, a 5-minute meditation, yoga, sage, essential oils, however that looks for you. Even if it's just a 5-minute walk outside just to like cleanse it. Maybe you need to take like a 5-minute shower. Showers can be very beneficial, especially if you have like a lot of water in your birth chart. Like the water element, showers can be very beneficial. so, there's lots of ways to just like cleanse the energy, cleanse your personal energy, and be like, that's not mine. That's gonna go over there and do its thing. I'm gonna get back to work on this video project, this writing project, this practicing communicating with God, source, universe. Like, we have to kind of be on our guard when resistance comes up, right? Give that resistance a minute to exist, because feel into, what am I afraid of? What am I afraid is going to happen if I develop a relationship with God, source, universe? What am I afraid of? And sometimes our thoughts from our past. I know a lot of people watching these videos have a past relationship with God, source, universe that's not a good one, not a healthy one, not a loving one. And so my invitation for you is to kind of go to God and talk to God, source, universe. Hey, universe, I understand that you want to show me love, and I'm willing to open myself up to feeling or witnessing your love and how you want to shine that upon me. And so, but it's intentionally and sometimes being very disciplined. Some of us have such squirrel brains, or such overthinking brains, or such, I want to say serpent, but I'm thinking of like a worm that's like digging through. You get that earworm song in your head, and it's just rumbling around in there, and you're like, get out of my head, get out of my head. And so some of us have such an overstimulated thinking that we have to really be diligent about shifting how we interact with ourselves. And so, I used to say, when I started this work about, I seriously got into this work 7 years ago, but I've been doing personal development work for 12 years or more. And I used to say, like, this work doesn't work. And then one year I just really embraced it, embodied it, really diligently practiced it. And put into play different things. Like, I used oils, or I used sage, or I used exercise, or, cleaned up my eating, or implemented crystals here and there. And after I did all that and then really practiced it and really felt through it and surrendered to it, I was like, oh, this shit works if you actually work it. So, you can sit there and say, like, Sarah, this doesn't work, but it only works if you work it. And you have to be open, willing to work it, to make it work, because the universe will show up. However, remember, it's a co-created relationship. So if the universe sees you not showing up, not committing to a daily spiritual practice, or not committing to a daily practice of writing or exercising or eating healthy, or whatever, the universe can kind of back away, and then, oh, you're confirmed. The universe doesn't like me. Okay. All right. And then a couple other things I wanted to mention are fuck you letters, or, whatever you want to call it. I call them fuck you letters. It's my way of saying fuck you, God, or fuck you, whomever, for leaving me, for giving me this tough life, or for making me blind, or for whatever. Like, fuck you, God, you made me blind. Fuck you, blindness, for existing. Fuck you, whatever, for, me having to go through that bullshit. And getting really down and dirty and ugly with how you feel. And you may have to do these on repeat. We don't need to talk about how many notebooks of letters I have written of this nature and thrown them away in some capacity. I don't keep them because that's holding on to that energy. So I really recommend writing it, brailing it, not putting it on an electronic device, because then you'll keep it, right? And so you don't want to keep these. You want to tear them up, throw them away, burn them in a bonfire, send them off on their merry way. But you want to get that gunk energy. It declogs your system. It gets those emotions out, because you can say all of the ugliest words that, you think of when you think of, the bad things or the rough shit that's happened in your life. And some of these things never go away. I mean, this is healing. Healing is layered. And so there's that. So you may have to revisit the fuck you letters at some point. But anyway, so lots of things that you can do to face or shift resistance. And let me just say that the closer to a breakthrough that you are, the greater, thicker, tighter the resistance will be. And it doesn't matter what part of your journey that you're in. The best of us have resistance. We experience resistance, we move through resistance, but many of us can move through it rather quickly and rebound rather quickly because we have these practices and we intentionally take them on. Like, I've got a book I need finished, I've got a deadline, I have to get back to writing, yet my chaos brain is dealing with drama, dealing with this, dealing with that. And you have to be the one willing to step into your chaos brain and be like, nope, we're not doing this today. Do the sage, do the oils, do the whatever you need to do. Drink some peppermint tea, drink some ginger tea, those sorts of things. And so if you need more resources, let me know, because I know not everybody is a tea person, an oil person, a crystals person, whatever. And I'm working on being better at giving you resources that will serve you, even if you don't do all of these different things. But I do highly recommend oils. I do highly recommend tea. I do highly recommend crystals. I don't use all of these things all of the time, like crystals particularly. However, they have their uses. And so maybe that's your resistance is, I don't know about this whole crystals or oils or whatever. Then work on meditations and affirmations and gratitudes. Those are easy, don't require an investment to implement. And so there's lots of ways of working with your own resistance. And so my invitation for you today, if you're feeling like you're resistant, like you're watching these videos, but I don't want to practice it, or maybe you've fallen off the train and this is the first one that you've gotten back to, I invite you to take on a practice to combat and discipline your own resistance. All right, that's what I have for day 14 of the Aquarius Experiment. Of course, the links are in all of the usual places, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Have a great one.